car, and all I saw was yours was the only face that was in it. I've been here before, and I should have known that you fucked me. It's unknown, though maybe not sure that you succeed. Afterwards we went back to yours, where you said that I was handsome. We fell to the kitchen floor and saw no reason to listen to the voice that said, I've been here before, and I should have known that you fucked me. It's unknown, though maybe not sure that you succeed. And if she wants to, she gets to leave. And if I have to, I'll do it for my own selfish needs. The next day, well, I held that notice where it made me stop again. It said, look out, my God, beware, because my husband's home at 10. And if she wants to, she gets to leave. And if I have to, I'll do it for my own selfish needs. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Metro Dogs TV. I'm Sean. I'm going to be your host again this evening. I think it's probably going to be me mostly doing these videos. Matthias has an actual life, so on Saturdays he does things. Don't play more music. Yeah, that was the beginning of Contrast there. If you want to hear that, check out our music videos. I just played She Wants To, which is our first ever single that we released 3 or 4 months ago now. I can't believe the responses that it's got. It was 400 or something last week views. It's jumped up to over 600 just because we've done more online things. We did the jam last week as well. Hoping to do another one of those this week coming up. But the main reason that I'm here today is that we have another new single that I'd like to promote. It is called Savor Chaos. It's inspired very much by The Doors. Matthias was messing around with an acoustic guitar one day and just started playing a really fun riff that sounded very 70s, it's nothing fancy. We decided to just write one of the songs where rather than overthink the process or anything, we wanted to just have fun with it and write a song that is a little bit more in that old style. You know, I mean, the Doors, while being incredible, like, I mean, they're a phenomenal band and much more, I think, experimental than we are. It's still got a little bit of those elements to it too. So I want to play that in a little while, not just yet. I want to also talk about some of the other things that are coming up with the band. I'm going to try and pull up the chat too, because it'd be super nice if anybody wanted to chat to me while I'm on here, or if they had anything that they wanted to say about either the track or our music in general. I know that, I mean, we've had over 100 people, or nearly 100 people, watch the live jam from last week. I'd love to know what people actually thought of it. I know the sound quality isn't the best. It's the best we can do right now because of gear and stuff. I mean, I'm currently coming to you live from a TV from the 1920s, as you can see from the background. So our production budget is not as big as I would like. So, you know, more views, more likes, more shares. This is an empty cup. There's not even anything in this. I can't afford anything. I want to talk a little bit about the idea of the song as well. Originally, when we messed around with the chord progression, we kind of forgot about it, which happens a lot. You know, we'll put it on the back burner, we'll put it in a folder somewhere where we've recorded it. But we were in Copenhagen one day, and I was just in the back of Matthias's car, and we were driving around, and I saw a dude out the window. He was holding a bottle, and he dropped it out of his hand, and I have no idea where, but I just took out my phone and started writing the lyrics to this song. They're not great or anything, but they were so fun that as soon as I had written this whole piece out, I thought of that chord progression, and I thought, oh, that's so like what, you know, and it's so like, again, the Doors vibe that we were kind of going for, while still being Metro Dogs. I mean, it's still us. It still ends up with a sort of jam out at the end, which I think is our specialty. Before I actually go into playing the new song, though, I think I want to warm people up. And I'm going to probably play one of our other originals too. In fact, because I started Contrast, I might give that a go. So let me just turn you. Oh, yeah, we're on Metro Dogs TV. As you can see, our fantastic logo designed by the wonderful Marta Okolic. It's a really crappy version. Her art is much better than this gives across. It was just me. I put a very quick version together for this TV show, the Metro Dogs Live. For now, Savor Chaos is coming up very soon. But for now, here is Contrast by Metro Dogs. All right, and I am back, coming at you live from our TV studio. As you can see, our production budget is pretty low right now. I've got to come at you from this pretty old TV. I found it in the back of an alley, actually. But if you help us, if you share, if you watch, whatever you can do to be part of the team, to just help us improve, because we just want better quality stuff. I want to come at you from a nice flat screen TV, not this bullshit. Anything that you can do to help is really, it's awesome, the amount of response we got already. Our music is, it's heavy. It's not pop. It's not hip hop. I understand that the audience is not as big for this style of music, especially when we can't really get the ideas in our head out as well as we'd like to because of budget. Time and budget are a big factor, so anyone who gives an extra listen, even if you put it on mute, I prefer if you didn't, but, if you have to put it on mute, I don't mind. Just anything that will help us in the future, The last song I just played was Contrast. Contrast is a song about how if you live your life for other people, even if they have the best of intentions for you, it will cause some internal conflict if it is not how you would choose to live yourself. It's a song about how you can totally get wrapped up in the idea of living for the people, whether it's your friends, your family, or whoever. And I've been guilty of doing that a lot. Obviously we all want to make our family proud or our friends proud or whatever, but if you live totally for other people, you'll feel bad inside. You'll know, whether it's conscious or subconscious, you'll know that there's something not quite right with you. And I wrote the song based on that. Or I wrote the lyrics anyway based on that idea that the longer you go on doing like that, eventually the worse you'll feel. And you don't want to end up 50 years old and realize that you've not lived for yourself, that you've lived for other people and what you think their opinions of you are or whatever. Again, I want to go back to our new single that I'm releasing tonight. I'll start uploading it once I'm done with this Metro Dogs TV little sting, Metro Dogs TV episode number 2, which is kind of like a mini behind the scenes podcast idea of basically everything that's going on in the band. If anyone has anything to add and off topic, I'd be more than happy to talk about that too. Because I'm one of the coolest people ever, I'm staying in on a Saturday night on the internet instead of going out and hanging with actual humans, So anyone else who's really awesome and cool like me can join in on the chat. Back to the song Savor Chaos, that's the new one that we're going to release tonight. It's, again, because of budget limitations, I didn't get to quite get it to the stage that I would like to get it. It's actually one of those songs that comes across really well if I play it on an acoustic guitar. Now, if you know me and I get to visit you, whether you're my friends in Ireland or to anyone who doesn't know, I'm originally from Ireland. I currently live in Denmark. But if you hand me an acoustic guitar, I'll play it for you, and I think it actually comes across a little better just because with the production value that we have, we can't quite get the songs, or I can't quite get the songs to the place I'd like them. I produce all of the music as well as being a member of the band and the co-writer. I do all the production, so I do the recording at home in my bedroom, and it's just not the ideal setup for what we'd like to do. But with all of that in mind, and with things like the fact that we are still learning our craft, we're not perfect yet. We have so much that we want to improve on, and we can only improve with time. The more we work at this and the more stuff that we put out there, the better I'm going to get at being critical, and the better Matthias is going to get at being critical of the music. But we really, really feel that when we write together, there is just some interesting melodies, some melodies that we really like. They are so exciting to write and play and everything like that. And we want to share that with as many people who like our style of music as possible, because there's huge markets for things like pop music and hip-hop music today. There even was when I was a teenager, but there's so few bands that are going for the music that we want to do, which is just a couple of guys with some guitars. And I'm not talking about like super overproduced rock either, or metal, or anything that's so like very obnoxious to listen to. We're trying to get something that is, there's a bit of distortion, there's a bit of grit to it, but it's the melodies behind it are the important bit, and the attitude. I've always said that I really like any band that has a lot of attitude behind them. It didn't really matter the genre to me. I always wanted someone that just felt like they were doing it because they loved it. And that's why we do it. I mean, it's why we play. I mean, it's one of the main reasons I moved to Denmark was for the music, and because the stuff we write together, I can't write by myself at all. There's no way. And these songs are so much fun to play to. There's so much fun to jam out. There's so much fun to listen to if you can get past the production problems, which the more you watch and the more you share, the more we will get past those problems, and you'll get to hear the vision that I have and that Matthias has. We are very aware. We're not delusional. We know how bad it sounds now compared to how it could sound. We know the more work we put in, the better everything is going to be overall. I've been on for a few minutes now. I think it's getting pretty close to the time that I premiere the track. It's a shame. I wish we could garner some more attention from people. Obviously, there's going to be a couple of people who are watching this back after the stream, after the live stream. I encourage you to comment on this or find our Facebook page, Metro Dogs Music, or maybe just Metro Dogs. You'll know by the logo. It's the same logo that's in our little graffiti thing on YouTube as well. That's some graffiti that I did up in the city of Aarhus. I mean, that I didn't do, in case the cops are listening. Yeah, so I think right now I want to actually play the new song. Actually, before I do, sorry to keep teasing everyone. I'm a bit of a cock tease like that. We actually have about four to five new singles that we're currently working on. This is the one that just happens to be the most fun and the most far along at the moment. But we have got about 4 or 5 that we're working on, and we genuinely believe they're better than everything we've done before. This song that we're releasing tonight, Savor Chaos, is a little bit more jokey because we do have a sense of humor as a band. You know, the way that Foo Fighters or Queens of the Stone Age have. We have that sense of humor because it is a ridiculous concept, the idea of playing gritty, loud instruments and then me just yelling things. I mean, it's silly by nature, but that shouldn't take away from how much fun it is. So we're trying to add that element of silliness to it still, while being serious about the subject matters we talk about. It's a difficult balance, but I think we're getting better at finding it. Savor Chaos would lean more to the slightly tongue-in-cheek vibe than anything else that we've done before. But the other few tracks that we're working on that, I mean, I'm hoping to get finished and pumped out within the month. They really have improved. The production quality has improved. I've learned just a lot more about producing the music. The quality on the guitars has improved. My playing has improved. My writing has improved. Everything is improving all the time. I feel like the more work that we put in, we're going to definitely get to a point where you know, you won't have to look past all the flaws to get to the music that we hear in our head. And I want to get there because I really truly believe that we've got some interesting songs and interesting ideas, and our melodies are nice. So we have got 4 to 5 more tracks that we're working on currently that we want to get out to you as soon as possible. I don't really believe in waiting a year and then putting out an EP of 5. And I mean, I get just bored of bands that I have to wait on too long. And I am constantly writing. It's my favorite thing to do. And Matthias writes so much as well. So when we combine our forces and we write together, we tend to pump out a lot of songs. And the idea is I want to get as many of these out as possible, as quickly as possible. I don't feel the need on waiting all of the time, you know, or waiting 2 months for this just because it will sit better, or I'm not about that. This whole behind the scenes and this whole talking heads thing that I'm doing, this TV channel, is to bring people in, and yeah, there might be only one person interested, but for that one person, I want them to see everything. The good, the bad, and the ugly of being a musician. There might be a 16-year-old kid who's just learning how to write songs or play guitar, and I want to bring them in and say, yeah, everything else that you're getting presented by media is a super polished version that costs so much money to produce. And it's discouraging. It discouraged me a lot in my early days because it sounded like that, so why bother? And the older I get, the more I realize, and the more I do this, it's not about that at all. And it shouldn't be about that. If you have something to say and an art form, you can't let the barriers hold you back. And I need people to see that eventually I think I'm going to get to a point where it sounds as good as that polished stuff, but I want people to see the process of it not sounding like that for a while too. You know, I want them to be involved in this stage, the early days, as much as they will be involved in the later days. That's kind of the purpose too of this, is that the band itself is not necessarily a traditional band. It's more of an art concept overall. And I'm not saying that we're high concept or that we're exceptionally clever or that we're better than anyone at this. I have no delusions of grandeur in that sense at all. We really love what we do. We're very inspired by music. We talk about it and listen to music constantly. I never stop practicing to try and improve. I've been practicing for a long time and I'm still nowhere near as good as I'd like to be. But also, I've gotten so much further along than I was before that inspires me to keep pushing forward too. And yeah, comparatively to the stuff you find on Spotify, the audio quality's pretty shitty on these demos. I know that. I know that because I don't have a proper producer producing my voice, that it's a little shitty at times. It's part of the process, but I want people to see, anyone out there who maybe has an interest in this, I want them to not worry about those things and try their own. I want more content. I don't want more polished, overproduced, huge invested, corporate product. I want to hear more individuals with a €2 microphone in their shed making a song. That to me is where the true art of it is. It's more interesting to me. The stories by the people who don't have the production budget tend to be more interesting anyway than the whoever was super pretty, so the production company picked them out and auto-tuned their voice, and everyone just buys it up and eats it up like it's nothing without putting any thought into it at all. I don't like that. I've always been frustrated and annoyed by the mainstream music scene because it always felt so polished and so you have to like this. You have to like this because she's pretty or he's handsome, and that's what everyone is supposed to like in your demographic. I've never been that way. I've always been that doesn't mean I don't like certain songs in those genres. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I just want it to feel real. I want to feel like the artist I'm listening to, that's what they genuinely love. They're not doing it for a paycheck. It's the music that was just in their brain that they couldn't get out. I know with these songs, every time I write one and finish one and it feels like an emotion or whatever, I feel better about things. I feel better when I play them, especially if they're about an emotion that's negative or if it's about something that I've struggled with in the past or whatever it might be. I feel better about listening to them and playing them, and I feel better when I hear other songs that I can relate to in that way. It's very hard for me to relate to some pre-produced stuff by somebody who's been rich all their life, because what do I have to relate to that? I don't relate to people talking about their wealth and their money and whatever else, their misogyny. That's not who I am. It's not what I'm interested in. I want to hear more from just regular people. I would love to hear from the cashier at your local Tesco what their song is in their head that they've come up with, if they have one. That's 1,000 times more interesting to me than anything else. I think I've probably droned on long enough, and for those of you who have sat through any of this, thank you. I appreciate it. I just want you to hear the stuff that's in my head. I want to encourage more people to follow their passions. Because, yeah, we may not be very good at our passion, but we're pursuing it in our own way. And I want more people to do that. I want less people to wake up at 45 and 50 years old and go, oh my God, I wish I had painted like I wanted to do. I wish I had played guitar that time. I wish I had whatever it is, whatever the dream is. I don't want people to, because they'll never make it sound as nice as the stuff on YouTube, because they'll never be able to record a video that's as good as a Hollywood produced thing. I don't want them to stop doing that, because the creativity tends to come from the less produced stuff. Now, without any more delaying, I'm going to play our new single, Savor Chaos. The song is about even the horrible moments that happen to you in your life. There's a beauty to them too, because they are fleeting as well. Everything is finite. You can't live in anything forever. Everything passes, good or bad. This song is about how you should even savor those moments that everything is even the most horrible ever, because when you're happy again or when things are better, you will be able to appreciate it so much more for having gone through the chaos. The idea is that no matter how dark things ever will get or seem, life is a bit of a cruel joke and none of us asked for our existence. So you gotta savor those moments too. Good, bad, indifferent. Savor them all. Don't wish your life away. Don't let it build up in your head and go, oh, this always happens to me. This always, whatever. It's about just the moment. All right. Keeping all of the things I said in mind about our crappy budget, here is Savor Chaos by the Metro Dogs. You'll have to ignore that little drum beat at the end of that. That was from a different song that I forgot to take off the playlist that I was playing that from. But that was Savor Chaos, our latest song that we've just about finished now, and I should be releasing it tonight. Maybe within the hour, I'm not sure. I gotta go cook dinner and eat and stuff, so I'll see. I might just set it to upload and then do that. But that was our song. Obviously, we've got production issues and all that and lack of budget, but I really think that the song is a lot of fun. Like all of our tracks, I recommend giving them more than one listen because there are many layers and textures going on and it can sound very messy at first. All of our tracks are like that. They're very messy at first, but once you listen to them 2 or 3 times, you really get the ideas and the melodies that we're going for, and I truly think that it helps just appreciate what we've done so far. Again, not that I think we're anything special, but just I do think it helps the tracks sit a little better if you give them a couple of spins. Spins? I don't think anyone says that anymore. No one buys records. Not even in my lifetime. Okay, I think that I'm not going to stay too much longer on this. I want to thank anyone who is watching, has watched, whatever it might be. There's going to be a new if we don't get a jam or another single out next week, there'll at least be a couple of these Metro Dogs TVs where I just give a couple updates on what I've been doing and what's happening with the band. I want to keep everyone informed. I want to keep everyone informed of my music. Tonight, on my own personal YouTube page, I might stream a video game with my girlfriend Marta. So, you know, if you follow me on that too, give it a check out. I think it's just Seán Manning. I'll probably put a link in the description of this video afterwards. But anyway, if not, whatever. You missed it. Who cares? All right. That was Savor Chaos by Metro Dogs. I hope you liked it. Thank you, anyone who stayed and watched. I'll be coming at you soon for another one of these videos next week at some point. And I think I will play... Yes, I'm going to play a song to see us off. Thank you, anyone, again, who listened. I love doing this. I love addressing people. I love actually telling them why I'm passionate about this stuff, because I feel like everyone has got a passion somewhere that they could really follow, and they will benefit from it tremendously. My life has only improved since I decided to follow my passions and write music as much as possible. Again, I have no aspirations of wealth or fame or any of that stuff. It's not the point. The point is that just day to day, I'm happier because I'm doing what I love. And I really think other people could do that too. So I want to just get them involved and show them what is possible. Now, here is a song that I wrote a couple of months back, and it's based on the idea that I'm actually the third Seán Manning, my grandfather, my uncle, and then me. And what is your name, and what is the idea of a name, and what does it mean to be a name? And the fact that my grandfather of Seán Manning had relative success with he used to play for the Dublin football team. So, like, me being the complete opposite of a sporty person, what does it mean to live up to a name that even has had minimal success? And I never really got to meet him. He died when I was 3. So what he would think of me now if he got to know me, you know? Yeah, so without any more delaying, here is Cursed by Metro Dogs. And thank you again for hanging out with me on my little crappy TV. The more production budget we get, the better the TV will get, hopefully. And maybe we'll get a better house around us, because this place is a shithole. As you can see, the fucking wood is all rotten and everything. Thanks again. This is Cursed.